Hello, everybody. It's been a minute, hasn't it? Thank you for clicking on this video. And with that, let's get two things out the way immediately. One, you have clicked this video looking for how to get tons of followers, dozens of subscribers, yada yada yada, instant famous. Those videos don't exist. Well, they do, but the information doesn't really. Nobody has the answer to this wild content creation journey. So stop looking for those videos. But before you go, I do have some things in this topic that I think content creators of any size could do well with hearing. Second, this video isn't going to be a PowerPoint, point blank, bullet point type of video where it's, bam, this is what you do. No, this is kind of a personal video with the things that I've learned and things that I'll be talking about to hopefully give you some insight on how to go about your own content creation journey. So, that being said, let's get into it. First off, I want to talk about varying your content as a content creator. I know it's redundant, but a lot of people will tell you, a lot of big content creators or content creator guides, whatever, will tell you that you do not want to vary your content too much. You want to find a niche and you want to stick to it. But now I ask you a question. What happens when that niche doesn't pick up? Put thousands of hours into one specific niche and you aren't gaining traction. What do? You bottom out and say that you failed as a content creator, that you aren't doing it right, or that the women with their shirts off on streaming services are taking all your views, or that it's simply because guys only want to see guys playing games. A lot of these things. Now, while there are some external factors that will make it harder for you to gain an audience, there are also a lot of internal factors that once you figure out how to make it play for yourself, will do just fine. How does this tie into varied content? Well, a lot of people will tell you that it's harder to become a variety content creator. The reason that's hard is because you are trying to get people to like you for you. And that's not always the easiest thing. And quite frankly, I think we've all been here long enough to understand that some people will just hate you just because of their own personal reasons. So, once you get over that, it is what it is. But I want to talk about varying your content for a few reasons. First, I know, and some of you might be able to relate, I hate the content creators that finally do variety after they've gained traction with their niche, and then they try to guilt trip people into watching other things in a very self-pity deprivation type of way. I don't mean the people that genuinely say, hey guys, I made this thing, check it out if you would like, da da da. No, I mean the people that get on a stream or video and they sit there and they're like, guys, you know I can't do this other thing or play this other game. You guys won't come watch. I lose viewership by like 30-40%. You guys don't like me for me. Woe is me. No, we all hate that. But on the other hand, I can understand how that's a legitimate worry for some people of losing viewership. So, I'm going to tell you something that half of the content creator game will tell you is to stop looking at those numbers as much as you can. It's going to be hard to ignore them completely, and it is going to help you in your content journey because sometimes if you put out something that wasn't really good, people let you know. But back to the reason why you need to put out multiple different things instead of just a niche is you want to put out a lot of different things until you can find which sticks, right? for reference, using my own numbers, I grew the most on Twitch as an Apex streamer. Get 20 or so followers every 2 weeks or a month or something like that. I don't know. But you then say, well, what's the issue? If you're growing, that's great. And it's true. Twitch is the only of the things that I've been a part of that has sent me a paycheck so far. So obviously, Apex streamers away. Well, that's where we're wrong. While I'd be gaining followers, I wasn't gaining viewers. The name of the game is retention, as well as virality, but that's a different can of worms. I was gaining followers, but nobody was sticking around to watch on the day to day. You go to a game where I had viewers, like a DVD, because it's smaller. People are looking for DVD content. So I would have, I don't know, upwards of 10 viewers on a good day, I guess. And I wasn't getting followers. Because while people are sticking around to watch that day, I don't know, I might not have been their cup of tea for them to come back. And then, truthfully, sometimes people forget to hit follow. It happens sometimes. So what do? You do both. Do both. Because when we look over on my YouTube, for example, my best performing video to date is a discussion video about Chambers lore. It's creeping up on 1,000 views, so if y'all can take it there, I'd appreciate that. But the rest of my Valorant discussion videos or Valorant videos in general struggle. They don't really see past double digits for most of them. I know some of them when I was a Yoru one trick did better, but again, what do you do? Then we take it over to again the two major hitters for my channel, Apex and DBD. Well, true. One of the first videos I've had to reach 100 views is an Apex video, the Revenant video. I'm a Revenant main in Apex. Haven't touched the game in a while, but that's what it is. Sure, that video did good, but again, the rest of them weren't. Turning back to DBD, my Trickster main, and Trickster overtook my Revenant video. And that was great to see. It was like, man, I'm finally figuring something out. Then I did some things to understand the algorithm and see if I understood the market, which unfortunately I did. And bear with me because this is going to make sense as I go into the next topic with varying your content. I understood the algorithm and I made a Ghostface video where I was talking about how I made the survivor salty. I don't play games to make other people upset. I play them so that I can outplay somebody else, basically, or some other thing. That's all I really play games for. My friends might disagree, but that's the truth. That video has now 420 views on it, and it's my second best performing video. So does that mean that I continue to do making people salty, videos? No. Quite frankly, that's not who I want people to see me as. I want them to like me for me, if that's what that case is going to be. Which goes into the next topic of branding yourself. You will see a lot of people that can understand that algorithm. Some people understand that in certain games that are PvP, people like to see people getting salty or people being toxic at the end game, or in PvE games. You guys tell me what you guys like to see in PvE games. I don't really play those. You'll see that a lot. But do you want to be known for that? Is the next question. Sorry if you guys heard that. There's fireworks still going on, and we are coming up on July. Do you want to be known as that? While it's great to pick up traction and you can get more viewers or subscribers or whatever have it, you can get more doing that, but will you build good connections doing that? You can be the best player in a certain game, multiple championships, things like that. But if you represent the game itself or other people in a negative light all the time, people then have to watch out for you. You might not get invited to play test the newest season of Apex or Valorant if every time you're on Twitter you're talking about how stupid the devs are or why something sucks in the game. You know, don't be that guy, gal, or person in general. Don't be that person. Because what's the purpose of doing that? You can have viewers like you, and you might think that's it, but it gets really lonely when you don't know who to talk to because there's nobody to talk to. Which kind of is going to go into another point. Thankfully, I do have friends, people that I can talk to. I say people because, sometimes not everybody's your friend, but they still give feedback. Either way. Thankfully, I've had people in my life that can give me criticisms, warranted or not, to help you develop your content. And my friends, I ask them for critiques. Now, they might not think that I'm taking it in or listening to them, but I truly do. And the next lesson is taking things with a grain of salt. A big issue is that people that aren't in the same area as you can only give you feedback based on what they think people want to see. So, my friends that see streamers that are always angry at a game or putting passion, quote unquote, into it and raging or being energetic, yeah, that's that they get viewers. But the people that I watch that are chilled out and just hey guys, today's video is going to be da 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 da. Let's get into it. They also have views too. So quite frankly, if you don't want to, you don't have to try to force a persona. Yeah, there is wide appealing personas, I guess, but it'll help if you're just true to yourself. I know it sounds corny and cliche, but just do you. If people like you for you, they'll continue to gain and come join you. And quite frankly, that's just with anything. Some of you out there might be having troubles dating, it happens too. Just be you. Don't try to act phony and fake. Somebody will eventually come around, right? Same thing with content creation. So, put out what makes you happy. And sometimes it might not make you happy. That's another thing about content creation that a lot of us don't really acknowledge as much. You might see people talk about it, but you don't understand all the time. I mean, if you're a creator yourself, you'll understand, but if you're thinking about content creation, it can get pretty frustrating when you have put in a lot of time and effort in something and it either doesn't reflect well on views or you quickly learn that you don't like it yourself. There's videos and thumbnails and such that I've put out that I did not like. But eventually, sometimes I go back and look and I go, damn, that was actually pretty good. I see why people like this. And that's a very big thing when it comes to having feelings about your content. There will be things that you don't like that other people love. There will be things that you love that other people don't like. But I really hope anybody listening this far learns to try not to get discouraged by bad views or bad retention, because sometimes things don't pick up in the nick of time, or what you think is the nick of time. I put out a Monster Prom video. Feel free to check that out. And for the longest time, it had 5 views. This past month, it has shot up to, I think I'm at 50, if I'm correct. Sometimes things pick up traction later. Algorithms work in mysterious ways. So, overall, sometimes you'll put out a good thing, and it might not be discovered till later. Look at Squid Game. I believe it's something like 2 or 10 years. I don't know. I remember it's a big gap of years before it got picked up, and look at how much of a worldwide phenomenon that became. Some people would tell you that if it's not picking up immediately, that you're doing something wrong. Sometimes they're wrong, sometimes they're right. It just takes the right time for some things to pop off. At the end of the day, whatever content you are thinking about making, make it. Put it out there. Let other people see it. Then take whatever criticisms or feedback you get and decide to go from there. Take everything with a pinch of salt. Because, frankly, you never know. This has been my lessons that I've learned in content creation. Is anything that you've learned, feel free to drop it down below. We could talk about it. A lot of people will tell you to be entertaining, but I think you're doing just fine. Now, don't go uploading a 144p video just because that's what you got. But whatever effort you put in, doing just fine. Till next time, peace out, my monstrosities.